Was the Xbox 360 Kinect really as bad as everyone says it was? I've been thinking a lot about the Kinect recently, as I've been collecting for the 360 a lot more recently, and it's really given me the opportunity to go back and check out those games or experiences that I didn't get to back in the day, or give something a second chance, like the Kinect. When I had the Kinect originally back in 2011, I was still living at home with my parents, so I didn't really have the most space to play with it. Then when we moved out, I didn't really use it, and I don't understand why, because I had the space to use it. I used it for the voice functionalities, like doing stuff on the 360 without a controller, or using the voice chat for playing online with my friends, but I just never really picked it up again, and then I sold it. Now that we've moved into another place and we've got a 7-year-old daughter, I thought to myself, maybe I should go back and check this out again to really see if it's as bad as everyone says it was. Plus, it could be something quite fun for me and the daughter to do. So, I picked up a 360 Kinect, a white one, which I'd never seen before, and a bunch of games to check out. So let's find out if it's really as bad as everyone says it is. But before we get into the video, if you guys want to add your own Kinect memories or stories, or you want to talk about the Kinect in general, then feel free to put that in the comments, as I'd love to chat all things Kinect with you. So first up, I wanted to really talk about the hardware in general, give sort of like hints and tips about it, and just give my overall opinion of just using it outside of the games. So, how do you control the Xbox 360 with your Kinect? Once you've plugged it in and it's all set up and it's all working as it should, you'll notice a little window appear in the bottom right hand corner. What that is it's showing you what the Kinect is seeing at that time. If you wave at the Kinect, you'll notice a little arrow appear, and that will light up once you've waved a couple of times. Once that's all lit up, that means the Kinect is taken over, and you can put the controller down and start using the Kinect to control the Xbox 360 dashboard. Now, one thing that was in all the marketing for the Kinect was the slogan, "You are the controller," and that includes the Xbox 360 dashboard. So once the Kinect is taken over, you can move your hand in the air and you'll notice a hand symbol appear on the screen, and that is essentially your pointer, so you can use that to move around. If you hold that pointer over a button, it will press it. You can swipe left and right and everything like that. It is very intuitive, it's very straightforward, and it's a nice little simple system to use. Obviously, with the Kinect being announced, they did announce a new dashboard at the time for the 360. It was either called the Metro or the Kinect dashboard. And obviously, it made everything a lot bigger in terms of buttons, so it's easier for you to press buttons and things like that using the Kinect. There's a gesture you can use as well, where you hold your left arm out at about a 45-degree angle, and if you're in a game, it'll bring up a menu so you can get back to the Xbox home. When I started using this again, I totally forgot about this gesture, so I had to pick up the controller now and again. But once I remembered it, it worked really well, and I was able to jump out of games without having to use the controller. And that was the main thing of the Kinect, was to just put your controller down and just use your body as the controller. But to feed into this, one thing I'm going to recommend you guys do if you decide to pick up a Kinect for the first time, or to buy one again after seeing this, is to use the Kinect tuner that's in the settings of the Kinect. What this is a series of tests that the Kinect does to make sure that it's perfectly optimized for the space that you're playing in. Now, I didn't do this the first time I started reusing the Kinect again, and I didn't notice anything too much on when I was playing around with Microsoft games or going around the UI. But when I was playing third-party games, that's when I really noticed that this wasn't tuned in. And I'm going to mention that later on in this video. So I really recommend people to use the tuner. So when you boot up the tuner, what you'll see is it'll ask you to get out a little card. Now, these cards are found in the box with the Kinect or in the cases of Kinect games. It's a little black and white card with a smiley face on it. You point that at the Kinect and you line up the eyes on that smiley face with the glasses on screen. You do that a couple of times, you do some steps around your room as well, and once that's fully completed, that means the Kinect is perfectly optimized for the space that you're going to be using it in. And it just makes the tracking a lot better. I noticed it vastly improved the tracking on those third-party games. So yeah, I really recommend people do this. But in general, out of the box, it's pretty good. But I think the tuning really fine-tunes it and it makes it perfect. But in general, using it around the UI and using it in general is pretty good. I didn't really have too much of a complaint using it with the UI. The microphone works great as well, so you can call out to the Kinect and you can get it to press things for you and things like that. So you can just not use your body and use your voice too. Again, really tuning into that you are the controller mentality. So yeah, really recommend using the tuner, but in general it's a very smooth experience when you're using it in the UI and everything like that. So no complaints from that standpoint. So let's get into the games. Now, there were 4 games that I managed to pick up for this, which was Kinect Sports Season 1 and 2, Just Dance 4 and Kinect Adventures. Now, I'm going to preface this up front. I didn't spend loads of time playing every little feature in the games. I just jumped into them, maybe played it for about, each one for about sort of half an hour, just so I got a little bit of a taste of what the games were like, and so I could really get a feel of what it was like playing each game and what the tracking was like and everything like that. So let's start with Kinect Sports. Now, obviously I've got Seasons 1 and 2, but I'll talk about them in bulk because obviously they're kind of the same thing. There is little differences which I will talk about, but yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about these in bulk. So I started off with Kinect Sports Season 1, and I played 2 of the sports in this, which were boxing and bowling. Now, I'm going to start with the boxing. I felt it was okay. The tracking was fine because obviously when you punch high, your character punches high. When you punch low, your character punches low. The problem I have with some of like the motion games in general is you just feel like your arms are just kind of swinging around. Yes, I know in boxing you kind of jabbing your arms out, but it didn't feel natural. Like if you were punching someone in the face in real life, it wouldn't be punching way up in the air like it does on the Kinect version here. And obviously you wouldn't be punching right down to the ground if you were punching for like their waist and that. So it kind of made the game feel a little bit unnatural. It did give me a bit of a workout, if I'm honest, because when I finished the match that I was in, I did feel a bit tired and that. So yeah, so if the intention is to make you feel tired, then yeah, that's it. Bowling, I knew I had to check out, as obviously when everyone plays Wii Sports, bowling's the one that everyone tends to go to first in Wii Sports, and I wanted to see how this matches up. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the bowling. Again, tying back to the boxing thing, obviously boxing felt a bit unnatural. Bowling felt very natural, like you just used your arm to pick the side that you want, or which arm you want to use, and you're literally bowling. You are moving your arm like you're bowling a ball, and you even have to think about things like how your body's positioned. If your body's not quite positioned correctly, your ball will go everywhere, kind of thing. Kind of how it is with bowling, how you swing your arm and everything like that. So it all felt very natural. I think that's when the Kinect and motion controls really shine, is when something feels very natural. You just feel like you're doing what the screen is telling you that you're doing. Like I said, with the bowling, you're swinging your arm as you should do. So yeah, it really works, and I was very impressed with it, if I'm honest. So let's move on to Season 2, which was the sequel. Now, I didn't mention this when I was talking about Season 1, but Season 1 was developed solely by Rare Entertainment, and then Season 2 was developed by Rare and another company, I can't quite remember the name, but there was big changes that came to Season 2, and I remember when it came out, people weren't happy about it. I think I dabbled in Season 2, but I didn't really play it that much back in the day. But when I loaded up Season 2 for the first time, I could see those changes that people were talking about, and it was insane. And that is the microtransactions they chucked in. Like, let me put it this way. There's obviously the sports you get on the disc, but then there's loads of little bits that are locked out. Like there's certain courses, like in the skiing, that are locked out. Or if you want to play certain courses in the golf, or you want to do other things in the sports that you want to play, some of them are locked out because you have to buy them, which is insane to me, which really kind of takes away the fun of the game, because obviously these Kinect sports games are just meant to be a bit of fun. You can chuck on, you can play it with the family and have some fun, whereas if you just see a bunch of lock icons on your screen, it kind of takes away the fun, because then someone might come along and say, oh, I want to play this one. You can say, well, you can't because it's locked behind a paywall. But yeah, there's a whole sport in there which is locked out by a microtransaction, which is insane to me. So yeah, I think this was a very bad decision, the fact that they chucked so many microtransactions and so many things hidden behind paywalls. So I felt this was a bit of a damper on Season 2. But I carried on, I played golf and I played tennis. Again, with both of these sports, they felt very natural. The golf, I really enjoyed. I'm not normally a golf game person. I don't really like golf games, but I tried this and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, because it felt very natural. And there was a great feature where you could put your hand up to your forehead, basically like Christian's entrance, the wrestler Christian, when he's looking for his peeps. And you do that and you can see where the hole is that you're aiming for. I thought that was a really nice feature, because then it kind of shows you which way you got to go, and obviously you turn your body to aim where you're going to swing to, and it was really fun. I even got an amazing shot on this, and I'm so glad I captured it. I managed to get a two par, or I basically managed to get into the hole in 2 shots. Obviously I did my swing from the starting point, and then I took my second swing, and the green was on a hill. So as the ball got to the hill and it started rolling down the hill, I was like, it's going to get to the hole. It's going to get to the hole. And I really wish I was actually filming myself playing the games, because you would have seen me get so excited, go, oh my God, yeah, I did it. So yeah, that was really fun. And the tennis, again, I wanted to check out tennis, because obviously Wii Sports, everyone plays tennis. It's one of the games that everyone goes to. And yeah, it felt very natural. Again, you were just swinging like you normally would. One thing I do love watching when I'm playing these is the avatars, because obviously the arm movements are really funny, because obviously sometimes they kind of cross over the body and things like that, so they do have a little bit of jank to them. I played a rookie. I absolutely dominated him, so I'll have to play some of the higher levels. But it was just really fun. Again, I got a bit of a workout. I could feel it in my arms afterwards. So the whole point of the Kinect, to get people off the sofa and get them moving, it worked for me, because obviously I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Kinect Sports Season 1 and 2. Obviously, the microtransactions were a little bit of a letdown, but, you know, it was still fun. I still had a great time with it. So let's move to Just Dance 4. Now, the Just Dance games is a monolith of a franchise. I used to have them for the Wii back in the day, when I obviously was thinking about games to pick up for this, and obviously games to let my daughter try. I wanted to try one of the Just Dance games, as I remember my niece back in the day on the Wii playing Just Dance. So I thought, well, these would be better for... Just Dance games are generally better for kids, and obviously they're generally just good games. So I played two dances, songs, however you want to call them. I did Wild Wild West by Will Smith, and I did Mr. Saxo Beat. The tracking was very good. One thing I will say, and I was sort of saying this at the start of the video, is the menus on Just Dance 4 aren't the best. The first time we played this, I felt the menus, because obviously you have to use your gestures and that, and to press a button, you have to kind of put your finger out like you're pressing a button. And the first time we did this, it just was not working. It was very poor. It really made, like, my partner tried, because she wanted to play it, and she was trying to sort of navigate around the menus, and she was getting frustrated. And it got to a point when she was nearly like, I can't be bothered with this. I can't even get around a menu. This doesn't feel like I want to play it anymore. So what you can do on Just Dance 4 is actually use a controller to move around the menus, and then obviously just use the gestures and the motion controls for the dancing part of it, which is what I would probably recommend you do with Just Dance 4, is the menu system isn't great, and it just doesn't feel very intuitive. So I just use the controller to move around the menus. So yeah, the songs were fun. They were really fun to dance to. There's bits where they record you, so then they can do a little video at the end, which my daughter found hilarious, because obviously whenever I'd be dancing, it'd do a little funny video. I did try to use the sharing feature for the auto dances. I thought, I wonder if the servers are still going, and sadly then then they're not working anymore. Neither's the store on Just Dance, because obviously the 360 store is now down. So all this kind of stuff is no longer available. So the only way really you could get these auto dance is if you point a camera to your screen, or if you use a capture card like I do, and then just kind of cut it out of the video, and then you can share it that way. But Just Dance is a fun game. It's a dancing game. There's not really much to say. You obviously follow the dancers on screen. You kind of try and copy their dances as best as you can. My little girl's tried dancing with it, and she had fun with it. My partner absolutely loves dancing games, so she had a lot of fun with this as well. But yeah, it's just a fun game. It's probably not one that I'll do a lot, because obviously I'm not the best dancer in the world, but it is fun. It's one of those, I think it would be fun when you've got like friends around, you're all sort of jumping up and going, oh yeah, I'll have a dance now. Or even if you get 4 of you, if you've got a big enough room and you're trying to do dancing, I think that's when it's really going to shine. So, but yeah, it's a fun one for me and my daughter to play, and obviously my partner can play it as well. So yeah, so it is a fun one. And in this as well, there's even like a calorie specific mode. So if you really want to try and lose weight through dancing, you can do that in this game. I didn't try it when I was recording this video, but I may come back to it at some point. Finally, let's talk about Kinect Adventures. Now, Kinect Adventures is the big one when it comes to Kinect, as it's the packing game that came with the Kinect camera. It's the one that everyone uses probably for the first time when they're using a Kinect. It's the one that really sells the Kinect to you. This was probably the game that they spent the most time on, because it's like, well, this is the packing game. This is technically the tech demo game. So they probably really want to impress with Kinect Adventures. So you start off and you have a game of River Rush, which is where you're in a big sort of blow up dinghy and you're guiding the boat around to get tokens, and you jump in. And when you start it for the first time and you've got all this, and it is a bit wow, because it's like, oh wow, look, I can move the boat and I'm jumping, and it's very high intense, not intense, but it's all high action and things like that. So yeah, you're very much like, oh my god, this is amazing, look at what the Kinect can do, and blah, and it really does blow your mind a little bit, and it really sort of gets you into it quite quickly, because it's like, right, you're in, let's get you on River Rush, let's get you started, and let's really impress you straight away. And look at the graphics, look at all the movement you can do with the Kinect, isn't it fun, and blah 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 and all that. And then you get the photos at the end, and you can see yourself being really silly and jumping around. I did try and do the photo uploads. I think it's to like connectshare.com, but unfortunately it doesn't work. And it was really fun, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. But the rest of the game is kind of if I'm being honest. I would say, to be honest with you, Kinect Adventures was probably the weakest of the games I checked out, even though it is the packing game. You would think this would be the big one, like how Wii Sports is that was a packing game, and that was kind of like the tech demo of the Wii. But that's all people talk about when they talk about the Wii, is like Wii Sports is the one that everyone remembers, and Wii Sports is the one that everyone kept playing with their families back in the day. And I guess Microsoft thought Kinect Adventures was going to be their version of that, but to me, it really didn't hit the mark past that first sort of introduction to the game. But the games just weren't very engaging to me. They weren't very, they weren't the sort of game, like I said, Wii Sports, but where you could just go back to that time and time again and just have loads of fun. Kinect Sports, you could go back to time and time again. Just Dance, you could go back to time and time again. Whereas with this, it feels very much like you play it once, just so, because it came free with the Kinect, you have a bit of fun maybe with your family, and then that's it, and it just kind of goes onto a shelf. I had a quick go of all the different games, because obviously they're all very quick games, so I had a chance to check them all out. 20,000 Leaks, you're basically plugging up holes. I thought this was the better one, the more engaging one, because you have to kind of watch where the holes were being punched in the little tank that you're in, so you have to quickly move your hands around. And the tracking on that was very good. Like if I had to touch the wall to the sides of me, it would work. If I had to I could even track my feet, so if I had to plug a hole on the floor, it would do that. So I felt this was probably the better of the other games. Rally Ball, you basically bat a ball at boxes. You're basically just flailing your arms. If you literally just stood there and flailed your arms around, you'd probably do fine. Reflex Ridge, you just dodge things on like a minecart. This one was okay as well. It does get you tired. So again, if the whole point of the Kinect was to get you sort of getting little bits of sneaky exercise in, then this is a good one because you kind of duck in and then jump in. So you could try and do like squats with this, I guess. It was okay, but not great. And then finally we have the space pop game where you're popping bubbles in space. It again, very So yeah, I think that's kind of like my overall opinion of Kinect Adventures. It's a very meh experience. It's okay. It's probably worth one go just so you can say you've done it, and obviously you've played the pack-in game. And this is the one that really tries to sell you the Kinect and really says, look at all the things the Kinect can do. Look, you can take funny photos of yourself. But I would probably say you're probably going to get one game out of this, and then it's just going to sit on your shelf and not do anything. But I didn't pay a lot for it, and I supported a local charity. So it's all win-win for there. So let's get to the big question here. Do I feel the Kinect really is as bad as everyone says it is? I would honestly say no, in all honesty, with a caveat. The caveat being that I would really, like I said at the start of the video, really recommend if anyone buys a Kinect for the first time nowadays, really use the Kinect tuner but before you play any game. Just go into your menus, go into the Kinect tuner. It takes a couple of minutes to do, so it will take you longer to start playing your games. But just take the time to set up the Kinect tuners. It will really enhance your experience. Once you've done that, your tracking is going to be so much better, and it's going to be fine-tuned for your environment rather than just taking it straight from stock. You're going to be really tuned to the environment that you're going to have your Kinect in. In terms of the games, I would say anything apart from Kinect Adventures so far for me has been really fun. I think when the magic, should I say, of the Kinect really shines is when something feels natural. When you're doing something, you're not thinking you're playing a video game anymore. That's when the magic really hits. Like I said, when I was doing the bowling, when I was doing the golf, when I was doing the tennis in Kinect Sports, it really just took away the idea that I was playing a video game. It made me feel like I was doing the sports that it was saying I was doing. So when it was like that, I couldn't fault it. Controlling the UI is great. I'm just really impressed with it. Now that I've spent a bit more time with it, because like I said, back in the day, I didn't really spend a lot of time with it. But I think now that I've spent some time with it and I've really fine-tuned it and I've really took the time to sort of learn the quirks and things like that, I really don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. I think it is one of those, it is worth people giving it a second chance if you've got a 360 in your collection of video game stuff. And if you haven't got a Kinect, they are very, very cheap now. I picked up my Kinect camera for £1, so that's less than like a cup of coffee from Starbucks, and you can have a Kinect camera. I don't know how much I'll be using it, because obviously I like to sit down and play video games. But when me and my daughter want to play a game, I'll probably crack this out and play Just Dance with her, or we'll play some sports on Kinect Sports and have some fun. It'd be great for parties as well, because obviously then people can do dancing together. We can do Kinect Sports. And that's when this kind of thing really shines, like I said, is when you've got a bunch of friends over and you're just having a laugh and just having a play of some sports games and things like that. So if you agree with me with that, or you disagree, or you want to ask any questions about the Kinect, or you want to just chat Kinect, feel free to put that in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Apologies if it was a little bit rambly, but there was a lot I had to cover in this video. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to do the YouTube stuff, which is like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. As I talk about a lot of Xbox 360 stuff on this channel, as that's the point of this channel, is talk about 360 memories and games and things like that, as I'm delving into the 360 catalogue a lot more and checking out games that maybe I didn't have the chance to check out back in the day, and I'll talk about them here. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video, and hopefully I'll see you next time.